Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. I am Ian Pay, and today we're going to be talking about employment in St. Thomas, Ontario. As always, if you find this information helpful, make sure you do subscribe and hit the like button. That way we can keep you notified of any future videos we do. So yeah, let's talk about some employment in St. Thomas. We'll get into the giga-size elephant in the room in a little bit here in regards to the Volkswagen plant. Kind of just talk about some general employment things within St. Thomas, and then we'll kind of get into what's already been announced with different plants that have opened or are planning to open, and also maybe what could be happening in the future. So yeah, basically, St. Thomas is like any small city. There's loads of opportunity, really, just depending on what you want to do. An unemployment rate in St. Thomas is around 6%, which is right around the national or provincial average. So really, if you want to work here, you're going to find a job. So whether that's going to be, you want to work in a restaurant, or if you want to work at the hospital in some sort of capacity, if you want to work for a hotel, if you want to work for the police services, we've got a great police force here, and I would definitely suggest if you were thinking about becoming a cop, come here. Definitely going to be a great place for you to work, and a police force that will actually support you as well. Yeah, we have needs just like anywhere else. Senior care is a big need. We do need GPs and other family related medical services, but unfortunately, just like everywhere else, we're struggling with that. I know the St. Thomas Elgin General Hospital has been trying to be proactive with that, and they have a great leadership out there. So if you're ever thinking about coming here to work, definitely suggest that as well. And yeah, so all those are kind of just your broad swath of whatever you wanted to do. You will find work here. So kind of going from there into what's already been announced and is already open. We have the Amazon plant, which was announced a few years ago that I believe just opened just last year. That's in Talbotville. That's going to be employing about 1,000 people. We have a Maple Leaf Foods plant in London that just opened up. So that is actually supposed to be employing around 1,600 people. From there, it pretty much seems like almost once a month we're getting an announcement from either the London Free Press or somewhere else that's telling us about some sort of new project and some sort of factory that's opening up, which is great news for everybody in this area. Employment drives the whole economy. So getting into other things that we have in St. Thomas, we have a bit of history to talk about, basically. So St. Thomas is a town that was founded on industry, essentially. So St. Thomas used to be known as the railway capital of Canada. And then when my parents were coming through high school, there were all sorts of manufacturing jobs and factory jobs within St. Thomas. And they walked out of high school, got these great jobs, and a lot of them stayed in them for really a long time, 10, 20, 30 years. Now, what happened, and this isn't or wasn't something that technically happened because of the economic crisis in 2008. It was more just something that happened conveniently at the same time. So St. Thomas had a bit of an economic downturn, and we closed 3 major plants, but we closed some other stuff too. So unfortunately, the 4 plant closed, which also closed the Lear plant. Between those 2 plants, it was about 2,400 jobs that were lost in this area. After that, I believe it was 2011 that the Freightliner plant, Freightliner/Sterling, they rebranded a couple times. But that was about 1,400 people that lost their jobs there too. So manufacturing, while it was a big economic driver in St. Thomas, unfortunately, we lost all those jobs going into, between 2009 and 2011. And we never really rebounded economically. At least it took a while. And yeah, so as I'm sure you've seen on the news, there has been the announcement of this new Volkswagen battery plant that's going to be in St. Thomas. Project is supposed to be finished by 2027, still on time at this point. It's supposed to be employing 3,000 people at that plant specifically, with thousands of other jobs through feeder plants or just, everything else that it brings into town. Employment's going to go through the roof around here. So now there's obviously a lot of speculation that goes on with this plant. There's a lot of local speculation as to whether it will actually happen, because again, people kind of have that little PTSD about losing all these other manufacturing jobs. So, they don't want to get their hopes up that this is actually going to go through. And of course, there's a bit of bad news out of the Volkswagen department where they are closing plants in Germany for the first time. I myself think that the plant is going to happen. And the reason why I think it is for a couple different reasons. Um, One, the government gave them a boatload of money. So let's be honest, you give them that much money, they're probably going to build a plant. Is it ever going to build batteries? Maybe. But I would assume that this plant is going to happen just based on that fact alone. Another thing is that the people who are managing the project for Volkswagen, they're actually already living in St. Thomas. They have office space, and as far as I was told last year, they were buying houses in town already. So that to me makes it sound like there's a commitment to them to be here or from them to be here. Third reason why is that they're closing plants in Germany, but the euro is significantly stronger than the Canadian dollar. So when I checked this out earlier, the Canadian dollar was about 68 cents to the euro. So building this plant here, they will be paying 68 cents Canadian to a Canadian worker that they would have to pay €1 to in Germany. So we're a more affordable workforce. Maybe we're the New Mexico. Kind of sad to say that now that I said that out loud, but if you think about it in economic terms like that, we are more affordable. The government's giving them money to build this thing. I would put money on this happening. One way or the other. Again, I don't know if it'll be a battery plant or if it'll do something else, but my guess is it's going to happen. And again, so that project, as of November of 2024, is on schedule to be ready for 2027. So, where does that lead us or leave us going into the future past 2027? My just general, again, guess is that things are going to continue to grow in this area, especially just with the rate of announcements that have been coming on. I'm assuming, or not assuming, I would, again, be evident by what's been going on. Um, I think people are back into investing in this area. By people, I mean the government is on the radar now. We are 2 hours away from, every border, every way, basically. And it is a hub. So that was one of the reasons why it was great for the railroad back in the day, and obviously why it was great for all these other manufacturers to come in back in, the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And now that information is getting back out there. So just in general terms, I'm assuming that they're building it, they're building the infrastructure, they're going to continue to use that infrastructure that they're investing billions of dollars into. Now, aside from speculation, one of the more, I would say, concrete things that I have found out or been, known about, but now starting to hear a bit more speculation regarding it is the St. Thomas wastewater plant is at about 75% capacity, which is the highest they'll allow it to go. If there's any new development that's going to happen in St. Thomas, they have to build a new wastewater management system or a new plant, sorry. And so they've already gone ahead. They've already picked a site for that. And shovels were supposed to be in the ground. I believe they're supposed to be around this year. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But again, that is supposed to actually wrap up and be online for 2027. And then I had a conversation with somebody yesterday or not yesterday, last week, that was in the know. And they were telling me that the population estimate growth for St. Thomas is actually low. So it came out, I believe, from the mayor's office a year or two ago that they were expecting about the population to grow in St. Thomas by about 1,000 people per year for the next 10 years. So 10,000 people, essentially. What I've been told now is that that estimate is low. It sounds like, according to this source, substantially low. I'm not going to say the number because honestly the number seemed a bit outrageous, but it is expected that we're going to continue to grow. So putting two and two together, saying that we've got this new water treatment plant coming in, which is there so that we can continue to develop because we can't develop anything more with our current plant at capacity, and then hearing a projection of population growth in this area being low and expected to be substantially higher. Put two and two together, I would bet that there's another announcement as far as a plant in St. Thomas or in the general vicinity of St. Thomas. What that is, I can't say. Who knows? I'm just putting two and two together, but I wouldn't be surprised if next year we get an announcement that there's another significant plant to come in. Anyways, that's all I got for you for employment with St. Thomas right now. There's lots of jobs. There's going to be lots of jobs in the future. The economic growth is projected to continue to grow substantially here, and same with the population. So if you want to get ahead of people, you're going to want to be on it sooner rather than later. But anyways, that's it for today, guys. If you have any questions, of course, always leave them in the comment section below and I will get to them when we can. And yeah, if you're thinking about moving next week, next month, next year, feel free to message me and we'll help you out with everything we can. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.